The 2000s built the foundation. AI had the data, the tools, and the computing power, but it was still waiting for its spark. That spark arrived in the 2010s. And in just a few short years, what had once been an academic curiosity became the engine of a global technological revolution. The 2010s didn't just make AI smarter, they made it visible. AI was no longer behind the scenes. It was in your phone, your car, your home, your job, your pocket. This is the story of how deep learning, the idea that refused to die, reshaped the world. In 2012, something historic happened. At a competition called ImageNet, researchers tested algorithms on a massive data set of labeled images, a benchmark for visual recognition. That year, a team from the University of Toronto, led by Geoffrey Hinton, Alex Krzyzewski, and Ilya Sutskever, entered a model called AlexNet. It didn't just win, it crushed the competition. AlexNet used deep convolutional neural networks trained on GPUs, and its error rate was nearly half of what anyone else achieved. That result shocked the AI world. Suddenly, deep learning was not a fringe idea, it was the idea. And that single moment, the 2012 ImageNet victory, marked the beginning of AI's modern era. Deep learning mimicked how the human brain works, layers of artificial neurons learning patterns and data. Unlike traditional machine learning, which relied on handcrafted features, deep learning could discover them on its own. Feed it enough data, give it enough computing power, and it could learn from pixels, from words, from sound. In computer vision, deep learning revolutionized image recognition. In speech, it led to the rebirth of voice assistants. In natural language, it paved the way for understanding, not just keywords, but context. Every big tech company noticed. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and Baidu all pivoted toward AI. They hired researchers, built massive GPU clusters, and integrated deep learning into their core products. AI was no longer research. It was infrastructure, again, but this time visible. As breakthroughs piled up, the world took notice. Startups popped up everywhere, in healthcare, finance, marketing, cybersecurity, and entertainment. Investors poured billions into what became known as the AI gold rush. Companies like DeepMind in London pushed boundaries. Their goal, build general-purpose learning systems, AI that could learn anything. In 2014, DeepMind's DQN algorithm learned to play Atari games, not by being told how, but by watching pixels and learning through trial and error. It was a major step toward general AI. A few months later, Google bought DeepMind for over $500 million. The message was clear: whoever mastered AI would shape the future. The success of AlexNet opened floodgates of innovation. ResNet 2015 made neural networks deeper, 152 layers to be exact, solving accuracy problems and powering new image models. JANS 2014, introduced by Ian Goodfellow, let AI create, generating realistic images, music, and even human faces from noise. RNNs and LSTMs powered translation and speech recognition, enabling Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant to understand natural speech. Suddenly, AI wasn't just analyzing, it was communicating. Chatbots, transcription, voice search, all of it became mainstream. And with that, AI entered the home. The 2010s were also about infrastructure. Cloud computing exploded. AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud made it easy for anyone to train machine learning models. GPU makers like NVIDIA became central players as their chips powered deep learning everywhere. Frameworks like TensorFlow 2015 and PyTorch 2016 democratized AI research. Suddenly, what used to take a university lab could be done by a startup, or even a single developer. This accessibility led to a new wave of innovation and competition. AI was no longer limited to big companies. It was for everyone. By the mid-2010s, AI had quietly woven itself into daily life. Your phone recognized your face. Netflix knew what you'd watch next. Google Maps predicted traffic before it happened. Ads followed you across the internet with uncanny accuracy. AI was no longer just a technology. It was an experience. It shaped what we saw, bought, read, and believed. But as AI became more powerful, questions about privacy, bias, and ethics grew louder. By the late 2010s, the world began to question AI's power. Facial recognition raised privacy alarms. Algorithmic bias in hiring, policing, and finance revealed real-world harm. Social media algorithms amplified misinformation and division. Researchers and policymakers started talking about responsible AI, fairness, transparency, accountability. The same decade that gave AI power also forced humanity to confront its consequences. Then came one of the most important inventions in modern AI, the Transformer. Introduced by Google in 2017 with the paper "Attention is All You Need," Transformers changed everything about how machines understand language. Instead of reading text word by word, they could attend to meaning and relationships across entire sentences. This breakthrough powered a new wave of models, BERT 2018, understanding context and nuance in language. GPT series 2018 onward, generating human-like text. T5, XLNet, Roberta, and more, pushing the limits of understanding and generation. Natural language processing had reached a new frontier, and the next decade, the 2020s, would show just how far these models could go. By the end of the 2010s, AI was everywhere. What began as a quiet revolution in 2009 had become the most transformative force in technology by 2019. Deep learning reshaped industries, economies, and human interaction. It gave machines vision, hearing, and language, but also sparked new debates about control and consciousness. The 2010s made AI visible. The next decade would make it powerful. The 2010s proved one thing: AI wasn't the future, it was the present. The breakthroughs of this decade didn't just change technology, they changed how we live, think, and connect. But the story doesn't end here. In episode 4, we'll explore the 2020, when AI goes mainstream, generative models reshape creativity, and humanity begins asking, what happens when intelligence itself becomes a tool? Subscribe and follow for episode 4, the 2020s, the age of generative AI. Drop a comment. What AI tool or innovation from the 2010s changed your life?